Okay, so it begins transforming our uni students' room from after graduation, now they moved to college, into our studio. To the ceiling. We're not afraid. We're not afraid to make this a cosmic portal.
Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. Our family has suffered a traumatic occurrence recently. It was quite unexpected, and we are all sort of just trying to cope with what could be very long-lasting effects. Everyone is alive, but we are trying to cope. I'm going to get into the details of that later. Subscribe to the channel and come along for the journey. Let's do this together. I will also undoubtedly need your help in this, because I know that I and we are not alone in this experience, and I no doubt that I can greatly benefit from the wisdom of this community. So please utilize the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's see if we can't maybe even help each other through this. Having said that, welcome to the new audio-visual studio that my wife and I have just completed in our nest, which very recently has become an empty nest. We have two freshmen in college. They have both recently moved out. Our son is attending UC Santa Barbara, and he is living in the dorms. And our daughter surprised us, which is not a surprise at all, by moving up there as well. She went online with her courses and found an apartment and is living there, and now her brother is moving into that apartment as well. So from a parental standpoint, this is amazing, because there's a whole safety factor involved, and then just the fact that they're the best of friends and that they can live together. It's amazing and heartwarming. Our whole family has YouTube channels, and you can follow their journey on their channel. I will have all that linked in the description. Our son has some content regarding his college journey, from the application process to selection. You might find that you're in the same position, and this may help you going through his process with him. He's got very fun, just teen camping, surfing videos. Our daughter, just an amazing, fun, beautiful, wonderful person who has just amazing content, from book reviews to thrift hauls to meals to makeup, get ready with me type stuff. It's so fun, and it's so great. Last but not least, actually first and most, my lovely wife Angela also has a channel. She started it all. She had the channel first. She monetized her channel first. We've all just sort of followed along as she's blazed this trail of YouTube. We're learning a lot from her, and we're putting that to use here as a family. So go subscribe to her channel for some very relaxing content. We actually christened the studio yesterday, so you can tune into her channel and see her perform a treatment on me, which is titled Removing Toxic Energy. I'll also have the link for that specific video in the description, so you can easily check that out. So today's video is basically going to be how we got here. We are going to go through the making of this studio from a teenager's bedroom. You will also probably see its previous incarnation in some of our son's videos, because this used to be his room. And also, we did want to make this not only a space where we can work, but also when they come home, because they do come home a lot, and we're really grateful for that, they will have a place to stay, a place to sleep, place to study, just relax, a little privacy. So what we did to make this a work-live space is I installed a Murphy bed. This is a small room. It's only 10 by 10. It's very cozy, it's very tight, and so a Murphy bed just seemed natural for us to be able to maintain as much workspace as we can and still have it turn into a bedroom when our son comes home. We've also painted the walls several different colors so that we can have several different backdrops. We have added curtains that go from the ceiling to the floor all the way across the front of the room where the door is and the closet. and they cover both the windows. They also cover the Murphy bed instead of a standard cabinet. We did this to dampen the sound, and it really worked out great. We'll be putting up some of those curtains. We'll be going through just the process of how we got from a teenager's room to a audio-visual sort of, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's great. This is awesome to be able to just come in, sit down, and do some work. And hopefully you'll get inspired by this too. If you've always wanted to start a channel, if you have a channel and you want to create a studio, maybe you've got some helpful hints here. I'll have some links for the bed that we use, the curtains that we're using. We've used these curtains before on some of the IKEA hacks that I've done. Having this space has been really important, especially for Angela's work. She has always been working with the kids throughout their schooling while I've been at work doing my job. She's had to really adjust for everyone's schedule. These were bedrooms, they weren't studios, so she would have to film at different places in the house, which creates a problem for not only sound, but for curating backgrounds, and anything that comes up, someone coming to the door. And it was really tough for her, and I love you, baby. You did a great job all these years, and you're going to just excel and fly here. I just cannot wait to see what you're going to do. Our house is very beautiful, and it does photograph well. We will be doing a house tour later on. A lot of cool and interesting furniture. We love vintage. I don't like to see anything go into a landfill, so things have been pulled from the trash and utilized, actual pieces of furniture. We thrift. We'll be doing thrift hauls here and there too, because we just love to do that. We are very much recycle, reuse, and honestly, some of the best stuff that was ever made is vintage. Solid wood instead of particle board, and the list goes on. So stay tuned for that house tour, and I believe that both the kids are going to be doing house tours of their place. You can subscribe to their channels and see that as well. Here we are in the middle of the studio. Let's see how we got here.
Okay, so it begins transforming our uni students' room from after graduation, now they moved to college, into our studio. And on this wall is our kids' stickers. He actually wrote a really cool college essay for entrance about those stickers, which is kind of fun. I think Jason's gonna have videos on his channel because he's gonna be creating a Murphy bed. So this room is totally convertible from a audio and video studio that Amy from Soft Landing, thank God for Amy, helped us create. And when our son's home, he'll have a place to snooze and relax. And here's a cyberspace, a whole wall of cyberspace wrapping around. We're not afraid. We're not afraid to make this a cosmic portal. Then we'll have the Grand Canal green that Amy wonderfully chose for us here, and then that taupe is going to be on the back of the door and in a curtain panel that covers up the closet and the mirror. Oh, this looks amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm just super happy with this.
So for the Murphy bed build, we're going to leave the carpet in here as just a bit of a padding and just put a tarp over it, but we will need to be removing the bed, and right now I've got a little bit of a problem with that. It seems like someone's made it her bed. All right, the bed is out and the drop cloth is down. It's time to start getting the Murphy bed pieces together so that we can mount it to the wall. Now this is a small room, it's 10 by 10, so we need to really plan out where along this wall we want to put it. Let's get that Murphy bed in here and on the wall. Next bed was the brand that we used, and we are super happy with it, and apparently Lotus is too. The website did show a time lapse of the assembly of the bed. We wanted to do a little bit more in depth to show how it kind of goes together. It was very easy to assemble, it was just very time consuming because of all of the parts involved. First up was the base, which was pretty easily assembled. We then needed to just measure off the wall so that we had enough room for a side table, and from there it just easily screwed into the baseboards. Once the base was in place, it was time to assemble the frame, which is a one-person job, but I did have a little bit help on this. Looks like I got a curious kitten in here. Hi, Juniper. With the frame on the base, it's now time to add the legs and the supporting hardware. Now, we were missing a couple of parts on this, but we were able to figure it out. So, despite the missing parts, we are going to get the slats on here, we'll get a mattress on here, and pretty soon, we're going to get a college kid on here. Yeah. This was also easily accomplished without any screws or hardware needed, just simply flex the wood and it popped into place. With the bed complete, it's now mattress time, and Angela found us a beautiful mattress at IKEA. We'll link that in the description. Very nice mattress, and it passed the cuddle test as well. Having such a small space to work with, a Murphy bed really was the perfect option. You can see that the Vidga curtains are now installed, both to conceal and to create a sound barrier, which worked out really well. Vidga curtains also on the front window, which can be opened up to really just expose the beautiful light that we have. And now it is time to get to work on the final set of curtains, which will cover up the IKEA closet that we've installed, as well as the entryway, and really create a nice sound barrier. Our curtains of choice for this project, as you know, are the IKEA brand Vidga. We've used them in a lot of other hacks that you can see on the channel, and they're really easy to use, really easy to install. Just give yourself a lot of room so you don't knock things off the shelves like me. And by the way, no accessories were harmed during the filming of this episode. With regard to the mounting hardware, there are certain things in there that we are not going to need, like the instructions. I say that because I've installed these a lot, but for this install, going wall to wall, there are certain things that we're not going to need to use. For the first track, we're only going to need these two mounts. For the second track, we're going to add this little piece, but since we're going wall to wall, we don't need these little end caps. These curtains are pretty lightweight, but since we are going into the ceiling, we are going to use these anchors just to make sure that everything stays in the ceiling. The first set of mounts go on, and you want to make them tight, but not too tight, because you do need to make sure that they have a little bit of motion in order to lock the track in. So you can see now that these are very easily installed, but one interesting fact is that there are no screws in the hardware kit. So I used a number 8 screw that is 3/4 of an inch long for this. Moving on to the second track, it is now time to utilize this little piece, which slides into the track and clips into place. Now, if you've ever had Hot Wheels tracks as a kid, this is very similar to the tongue that attaches the tracks. It slips into the other track and sort of keeps it aligned, and will keep the curtains from becoming snagged when you slide them from side to side. It's now time for the final piece, which we'll have to cut to size. But before we install that final piece, we're going to need to use these. This is the slider and the hook that will hold the curtains. They simply snap together, and then you can slide them into the track. Now, since we are going wall to wall, we don't want to put that last piece on, or we're not going to have any way to put these in. So we slide them in first, then we're going to install that final piece of track. Final track in place, and with the hooks already installed, it is time to hang the curtains. As I said at the top of this video, our family has suffered a pretty devastating loss, and this studio build out has been almost therapeutic in a way. Please subscribe to the channel, support our family, support me, and come along the journey as we reveal what's going on and just kind of figure out how we're going to move forward. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.